Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to our witnesses. Thank you for joining us for the hearing. I'm really so pleased that we have this hearing today. And Senator Blumenthal talked a little bit about what the work he had done in the tobacco lawsuits. Well, before those took place, and as they were beginning to take place in the 80s, I was chairman of the board of the American Lung Association of Middle Tennessee. And we were hard at work to make certain that we were conducting smoking cessation programs, that we were looking at some of the reasons that people chose to smoke. And one of those we found was the influences that advertising and things had on children. We developed a children's school health curriculum program and trained teachers how to teach working with parents, what to look out for, dangers of secondhand smoke, those things. But you realize the power of advertising. And I went back through to look at some of the iconic ads and things that have made impressions. In the 1950s, Volkswagen had an ad that was simply a Volkswagen and the words, "Think small." That was it. Everybody remembers that. In the 80s, we had the Energizer Bunny, keeps going and going and going. Nashville is a great ad town. We all remember the Budweiser frogs that would say Budweiser. Those came about in the 90s. Everybody remembers the Wendy's Where's the Beef ad. And these are ads that stay with you. Those messages stay with you. So now we look at the meteoric rise of the internet and social media. Advertising is taken on other forms. Kids go to YouTube and watch videos like Ryan's World, which is a 9-year-old boy who reviews toys and encourages kids to buy those toys through his Amazon store. And TikTok lures kids to keep watching through the use of algorithms and send them targeted content and collect their data, which to me is atrocious, but they collect the data for potentially nefarious purposes. Children, more than anyone, have a hard time identifying when content is actually an advertisement. I have this discussion with my grandsons regularly. According to the American Psychological Association, kids younger than 4 and 5 aren't really able to distinguish programming from commercials. And until ages 7 or 8, most kids don't recognize that commercials are actually selling to them. Yet this hasn't stopped companies from viewing kids as a lucrative market. By one estimate, advertisers spend more than $12 billion per year on ads to children, and kids view more than 40,000 commercials annually. The ad revenue for big tech companies in the U.S. is soaring. Twitter and Amazon's ad revenues were up nearly 90% from last year, while ad sales for Snapchat, a platform frequented by teens, are up more than 118%. And platforms like Instagram, which Facebook owns, developed a Messenger for Kids app last year and recently announced plans to create an Instagram for Kids app, which was challenged by 40 states, including Tennessee, and I think you and me. We know that advertising content can be harmful to kids and teens. It can expose them to weight loss pills, alcohol, and other adult substances, or even pave the way for bullying and risk-seeking behavior. For example, Pinterest recently banned all weight loss ads on its site due to concerns that eating disorders had increased because of COVID-19 related weight gain content. And just a month ago, police arrested 7 men in Northeast Tennessee for sex trafficking after they responded to decoy advertisements placed on various websites. With all the new ways that marketing reaches children, we must stay vigilant to ensure the law keeps pace with changes in technology. Among other things, Congress should revisit the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPA, to look at issues like how parents give consent to kids' online activities and companies that collect voice recordings of kids and teens. We also need to craft solutions, including a national privacy law, to crack down on big tech companies that make a business out of marketing to children. I wanted to touch briefly on the issue of e-cigarette use by kids and teens, since I know that is of great interest to the chairman and some of my other colleagues on the committee. I too am greatly concerned by the idea that products such as e-cigarettes could be marketed to youth, as well as the large percentage of middle and high school students who report using these products. That said, I am optimistic about changes put in place during the Trump administration that seem to be yielding results. For example, since Congress passed laws changing the legal age for smoking and vaping to age 21, there has been a 1/3 drop in high school use of e-cigarettes. And the FDA has taken steps to remove flavored e-vapor products from the market and halt e-vapor marketing toward minors. I look forward to continuing to work with members of this committee on these important issues and also to hearing from our witnesses today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.